Google's actually starting on time. What's up, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. You know Fat Man Zoom. We're getting right into it because the Google Live event is starting right now. I actually have it pulled up.
Welcome to Own the Sorry.
It's all good. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Hopefully we earn a subscription from you if you're hitting us up for the first time. So today's a pretty important day. Google's going to be revealing the Google Pixel 5, and right now we're just kind of waiting for them to get over the pleasantries. We kind of learned a thing or two about starting right out of the gate for with Tesla's battery day. So we're hoping that maybe we can learn from some of our mistakes as far as that's concerned. But just kind of getting a grasp of what's going on here as far as the Google events is concerned. We got a lot of other stuff in the show today as well. We're going to be talking about Palantir's IPO. We're going to be talking about Penn National's upgrades. We're going to be talking about Rocket. We're going to talk all kinds of stuff today. Also, the Shell merger, all that good stuff. So the stock market's on fire. Let's just start off with that. Absolute fire. If you guys,
hey, good to see you, man. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
You just ruined it for me. Like, what the fuck? I was getting to you. You're just so impatient.
Good.
But anyways, we got lots of stuff going on this afternoon, and we are super excited to have you guys here. So hang out. Well, yeah. How the hell are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Not too shabby. What a great day.
Jesus.
Had some good plays. Our watch list, home run. Rocket didn't do the thing, which everybody we'll get into. We got some beef with the Chaos crew. Love you guys, but we got a little bit of beef.
Yeah, we do.
Fight, so
yeah, 100%.
But other than that, I mean, Baba, boom, baby.
Yeah, Baba rolled out and balled out. We actually just talked about how we scooped up some Penn National here at $72 a share, and it is paying off. And yeah, man, stock market feels good. Feels like things are moving back in the right direction.
Yeah, we're stepping it up today. I came with the heat today. I felt good about my prediction regarding the debates and how that would respond. I have some conspiracy theories that I've brought to the table today. The IPOs I've been keeping a close eye on. If nobody's aware, which you should see in the comments, Palantir finally opened up today. Asana's been open since this morning, but now you can buy it. So we got a little bit of FOMO kicking in. Don't worry, guys. No need for the FOMO. Shout out to the crew, TN179, William Fricknick, Primo Villanueva. Yeah, just wait, man. Landon L. Landon, I have an order for Palantir. It still hasn't hit. Might be a little low. But anyways, and then we already got a new crew member.
Hell
Today
yeah.
is a good day.
It is a good day. Yeah, Michelle.
Welcome, Michelle.
Thanks for joining the crew. If you guys are curious as to what you get by joining the Chaos crew, by hitting the join button next to subscribe, you get a daily watch list from us, as well as access to the Owning Chaos public portfolio, all kinds of other private live streams and that sort of thing. So if you want to be a part of that incredible community and everybody in this chat here can attribute to, hit the join button. We'd love to have you guys over there. So the main event is going on right now. It is the Google event, and more specifically, the Google Pixel 5 is going to be the main feature for this event. I'm pretty pumped for it, man. We're looking right at all-time or new high of the day for Google, I should say. We talked about this at StockWatch Sunday that we could see us getting to $1,500 a share. It's well on its way there, my man.
Yeah, are we still able to see it? Is that possible?
Yeah, let me share my screen. So I actually had this kind of set up the way that we had our Tesla battery day set up. I feel like I want to have a better system here because I think that sharing these events and reacting to these events are going to become more and more of a thing. So we'll figure that out. But you at least have the chart here pulled up as well as the Google events. And if we start to get to an area where we think it might be worth listening in on, we might go ahead and do that, hop in on and listen in, see what they got to say. But yeah.
All right. So we're going to do more commentary because there's a lot of stuff to talk about regarding the market in general. And if anybody's actually listening to the Google event, if you feel like we need to put sound on, we'll put sound on. But
yeah, so keep us filled in.
Yeah, keep us filled in. Let's start with just do you want to talk about expectations for the Google event?
Yeah.
So, um, oh my God, I'm sorry, I got to do this. I'm gonna pause. We're not gonna talk about it yet because I'm gonna get Rocket off my chest.
Okay.
Claudia, I'm about to put your ass in timeout. Good to see you. Listen, people,
We love you, Claudia.
we don't bat 100%. Like, you guys act like it's doomsday. You know, there was still downside. It's okay. It's okay. Do what you want. I'm happy. I'm fine. It's sideways. No big deal to me. I'm going to be in it when it goes off, and I'm going to be doing a dance, and I'm going to be dancing all over everybody's grave. It's okay. It's okay. So, we knew this $20 range would be tough sledding.
Yep.
So yes, it's not going off like everything else, but believe you me, I think that it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So chill the fuck out.
Yeah. So I
Love
mean,
you, Claudia.
look, we love you. No, we love everybody. So yeah, let's just take a look at Rocket real quick. I mean, we had an 8% increase in mortgages, and really incredible numbers for August. And so, the unfortunate thing is that Rocket did not move. And I told a lot of people within our crew was like, what are we talking about? Today is an amazing day. Is every single one of you just whole accounting Rocket? Because my public account's doing great. Rocket will be coming around. I'm happy with all the other wins that we've gotten. And so I'm not even worried about it. I actually ended up buying some more Rocket today, believe it or not. So, it's only a matter of time. Christian and I talked about this sometimes where like, we don't like buy into the whole tinfoil hat thing, but sometimes it's hard not to think about, analysts downgrading certain stocks for their own interest, or maybe all of them for their own interest. And we kind of feel that way about Rocket. It doesn't make any sense to downgrade this thing when the real estate market is just on freaking fire. So hang in there. You'll be all right.
Okay. So Google. So let's start first. We've had these events. Apple had an event. Amazon had an event. Tesla had an event.
Google knew how the day, by the way.
Google. Now, all these events, kind of underwhelmed, I think is a great word to use for it. Underwhelmed.
Yes.
And then there was a sell-off afterwards. Does Google break 1,500? We're doing this for fun. Who knows what's going to happen? I believe this is the one that actually bucks the trend. It needs to announce something new. I'm going to tell you what I think the news that we need to hear is, but I believe it bucks the trend. Over $1,500 tomorrow. Book it. Yeah,
I think so too. It's fun when we disagree on things, but it's hard to disagree on this on this one.
It's going to sell off again. Yeah. The only reason why is because we've talked about how it lags. If it had some major run up, I think there would be profit taking or sell off. But like, where's it? I don't know. But here's what I think. Let me tell you guys what we're expecting today. So what we're expecting today, 2 new phones, maybe 3. We got the Pixel 4a, which is a 5G, pretty similar to the old 4a. We got a Google 5, the Pixel 5, nothing big. We've known this.
Yeah.
Nest Audio, new speaker, an upgrade. I think it's 4 years since they've remodeled it. So new speaker, we've known this. That's great. We might hear like a battery speaker, wireless. I don't think that moves the needle, but that might be something that people aren't really expecting, like a second speaker.
Yeah.
And then Chromecast remote feature to compete a little bit more with Apple TV. None of these things, I believe, will get it over 1,500. But Brad, here's what I think gets it above 1,500. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fitbit. News about Fitbit.
Oh, okay.
So they apparently they're merging with Fitbit. They're acquiring Fitbit. It's not official, but it's been talked about, and it looks like it's going to happen. So if they give us some official news, that's going to take it, baby. That's going to take it. That, and then potentially partnership with Walmart. I don't know what it is, but Daddy's got a feeling. So that's going to get it above 1,500. One of these events, they're going to give us some new news and get us fired up.
Well, this stock is going to new highs of the day after that Mac Lethal. I didn't get obviously we didn't hear it, but he looked like he was spitting some crazy shit right there. But yeah, no. So I just wanted to shout out to Dead League, new Chaos Crew member. Says excited to finally read the daily watch list. I keep hearing about great live streams, by the way. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of the crew and supporting the channel.
I don't know if we're gonna get to Action Jackson. This might not be the live stream for that. And I think Brad, listen, there's rules to this. We talk trash, we talk shit. You know, we kind of do the locker talk. There's a rule. There's like a bro code that if somebody's team gets busted, you give them a couple days. You don't kick them while they're down. So this might be a little too soon.
It is a little too soon. Oh my God. You know, it wasn't just Action Jackson. It was the whole team. And really, the defense was abysmal. They looked like they were afraid of Patrick Mahomes. And I don't know why they just kept blitzing and blitzing and blitzing, but it clearly was not working and they just kept trying it. Yeah. So there was bad things all around on that team.
So I will say first glance, so they're talking about the speaker Nest Hub. Should be interesting. I like the presentation just from an aesthetics perspective. This one is so far my favorite one. I thought Apple's was cool, but I was like surprised the technology wasn't better.
Yeah.
I like this so far. It's clean, looks good. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
like
the visuals are good.
Nest Audio. All right, we're
definitely better than the battery day presentation.
They took time for this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like it. Look at all this stuff.
The stock is soaring right now.
Yes, baby.
Stock is soaring.
Anybody that mentions Rocket from here on out on this live stream gets put in timeout. If you want to talk more about Rocket, get in the Chaos Crew or get in the mentorship. Get in the mentorship. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Yeah.
Zero Blue Ox, I cannot honor that a request. I will say Daddy's got a feeling anytime.
It's creepy as hell.
Papa gonna dance.
Oh my God.
So let's go back to the markets if we may. I want to talk a little bit about the debates and our conspiracy theories and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So the markets overall. So if you guys caught the live stream yesterday, we talked about the debates on how to handle that. That was going to be really volatile. We also talked about how, any kind of mention of taxes or whatever may impact the markets. And so leading up to the debate, futures were up. Dow was up like 300 points. NASDAQ was up like another 100 points. So it was like looking great. And then two old white dudes started shouting at each other, and people didn't really like that all that much. And then futures came down. Well, this morning, back up again. So people are happy. And I mean, this is what we talked about. This is exactly what we talked about. All the volatility that's going on. And we told you to what? Not put so much emphasis, not give into any of those emotions, and really just kind of stick with your plan and you'll be just fine. Sure enough, I stuck with my plan today. Didn't freak out. Things are looking up. Things are looking great.
I was sweating a little bit because I normally don't give bold predictions, but I was like, it's going up tomorrow. Worst case sideways, but it's going up. I didn't think there was anything like that could be said that would strike fear. We know the bad stuff. And so I felt good about it, but I was sweating a little bit. I'm like, it's going to go up. Went up. I was a happy camper this morning. I added to a few things. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the market overall. I think going into the next debate, I think there's a lot of good things that are going to happen. And I feel like the market's going to be in a much better position in the next debate. This is Conspiracy Christian right now.
Yeah.
I think today is the day where we break out of that September lull, the unsexy September, and we get into October and we start looking up. We got the signal the market's coming back, in my opinion. I mean, how many upgrades did we have?
A ton.
We had Lululemon reinstated as a buy. Sherwin-Williams upgraded on home improvements. Penn, Starbucks, which we love Penn. We love Starbucks. Starbucks, one of our top stocks for October, gets shouted out the next day after we called it.
Yep.
Talk about another stock that I want to get to 100 by the end of the year. I think these are all great opportunities. And I'm really excited. And I think this is only the beginning of more upgrades to come in a couple of weeks.
I agree. And we talked about this off air. This is an interesting statistic. that you guys might want to know about. And I want you to keep $4.3 trillion in the back of your brain, because that's how much is still sitting on the sidelines as far as hedge funds and big, huge institutional investors are concerned. There's a ton of money still sitting on the sidelines here. And I think that some of them may have been waiting for this type of correction, maybe waiting a little bit longer. But I think 2021 is going to be a banner year. We're talking about not only a stimulus going through potentially within the next week, but also that money coming in. It's going to be monstrous, in my opinion, I think, for 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to your point about the debates, one thing that's kind of cool is it kind of brought everybody together, because I don't think anybody was like, that was awesome. Everybody's like, that was a mess.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered what side
debates
you're
were a
on.
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One thing that I don't know if you realize, but if you look closely, you know how they talk about in Zoom, you can kind of wear whatever you want and people won't see below the waist. I don't know if you realize, but they were both wearing diapers. You just couldn't see it behind the podium. That was interesting. Depends. They're wearing Depends.
Yeah, yeah. That's hilarious.
I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
So I want to go into my next conspiracy.
Hold on, real quick. Landon's just giving us a shout out with the donate too. I just wanted to
thanks.
Shout him out. Thanks, Landon, for the donation. Says Chaos Crew's the real deal. Let's go, SD. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is that right? I think what? 2 p.m. West Coast, 5 p.m. East Coast.
I don't know what that was about, but I just wanted to say thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Chaos Crew, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And sometimes on Wednesday when random things come up.
That's right.
So I want to get to the IPOs, but I think this segues into my other call that I talked to you about today. Let's talk about Tesla. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Tesla. I don't believe this is a fake out. I think this is a real deal. And I'm going to tell you why. Walmart deal. I'm reading between the lines here. Let's think about this. So let me catch you up to speed if you don't already know about the Walmart deal. Walmart ordered, tripled their order for semis. So they had 40 semis ordered through for Tesla, and they had upped that. So it actually was like 10, and then it was 30. So they're up to 40. They tripled their order. So over tripled 130 semis they ordered. Okay. Numbers, great. I don't care about the numbers, but my question was why? Like, why now? So, what I think is, I think we're about to get news about the semi. So the semi was supposed to be produced in 2019. To nobody's surprise, it got pushed back. 2021 is supposed to be produced. So, or released.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Fat Man Zoom. Do you see my little rocket, my little race car?
No.
It's next to my Fat
Oh,
Man
yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, what does this mean? Here's what I think. I think Tesla went to Walmart and gave them an update and said, hey, we're close. It's about to happen. We're good for 2021. I'm going to say second quarter 2021. And they said, okay, awesome. Well, you know what? Let's order triple more. Yeah. Why would you order more if you don't know they're coming? Why would you out of the blue go to Tesla? I think Tesla went to Walmart. I think they ordered more. And I think Tesla's about to tell us something about these semis. Perfect timing with the Nikola fall from grace. And then it's going to get better because I hope they do it during earnings, because we're all going to bask in the glory and daddy's going to be happy.
Let's just be clear about one thing. I agree with 100% of all of that, but I'd like to clarify there was no grace with Nikola. Just wanted to put that in there.
What Melissa asked is, it looks like it's going to pull back a little. It could pull back to 400. But I can't see it going below 400. 420 seems like that number that if you see pullbacks for it to run back up. But 435, is that the resistance you have?
That's what I have. Yeah. 435 is resistance on Tesla. And then, if it comes back down, does sell off, I do like it at 400.
And then go off.
That's right. Landon, I am a huge baseball fan. Just nobody wants to talk about it. So I'll talk baseball all day long with you if you want.
Worst sport ever. I'd rather watch cricket.
It's the same. It's pretty much the same thing.
Way better.
But yeah. So there you have it with Tesla. We have some of our own conspiracy theories as far as that's concerned. But you guys know how we feel about it. We love it. And man, I think that I don't know. I think anything below 385 is a thing of the past. And I could be wrong about that. Some crazy shit could happen. But I think that, it's onward and upward from here.
I agree. We're talking about no catalyst, no news. Like, yeah, obviously if they have a hiccup with production or closed down, whatever. But as far as just like day to day,
Yeah,
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Got 203 people in here hanging out. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And I got 36 likes. So let's get some of those likes up. Certainly would appreciate some more support there. Baseball stinks just as much as the Ravens. Oh, man. You know why he's gloating? Because Bratz is a Pittsburgh fan. So, Pittsburgh's in first
Do
place.
they even play football?
They play defense, but they don't play anything else.
I don't think they play football anymore. Didn't they cancel their season or something like that?
Something like that. But what else we got on the show? What other notes we got here? Let's just check back in with Google here real quick. I pulled it back up. It's sitting at 1484. And so just on a little bit of a pullback from its recent new high of the day of around 46. So
they're talking about their new phone. So they're talking about the 4A. Did you pull it down?
No, I still have it.
Oh, I don't see it up. Oh, no. I mean, I'm the video. So they're talking about the 4A, the 5 right now. Okay. And the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Qualcomm, we talked about that.
We did talk about Qualcomm.
Just making some news.
A little sneaky one that we talked about. Didn't make the top 10 list for this month, but we like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Exposure to autonomy, nobody realizes.
Yeah. Look at that. You ask for likes, and then they automatically double. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the thumbs up.
Moving. Good.
So thanks for so much. Chan says, thanks for putting so much give a shit into this app. Thanks, man. Appreciate those kinds of words. Can you tell me if you think Penn is a good buy right now? So we talked about Penn in the beginning of the show and how much we actually love it. I actually ended up getting into this. I've been in and out of Penn. This has been a great little mover for swing trades. I actually got in at 72 flats on this dip, and for the public account, on the Chaos public account. And so, yeah, I think that if this gets anything at anywhere near or at 70 or below, it's a steal. I love Penn a lot. It's getting some, crazy movement because of the postponed Steelers Titans game, but I don't, every time this happens, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention to any of these gambling stocks, but when bad news comes out as it deals with the Rona, whether it was college sports or whether it was baseball, or now we're dealing with it on football, we have a pullback and then it just runs right back up. So take advantage of the emotional selling here. I think it'll be just fine.
Primetime DJs, what's up? R. Evans got his Weeble account or her Weeble account.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, if you guys are curious about this platform that you're seeing here, as I'm sharing my screen, this is Webull. If you guys are interested in checking this out and getting 2 free stocks, check the links down in the description. Helps also support the channel too. If you guys are looking for a new broker, it's a great platform. We love it a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people in here can attest to that too. The King is in. Steve King is in.
Steve King, baby. Steve King figured it out. He learned from the last live stream in Tesla. He's like, wifey, I got to get it in. He's a little late, but
see, yeah, he learned he got it in beforehand, and now he can hang out with us forever.
You didn't miss Shell.
We will be talking about Shell in a second.
Yeah. Ema says those of us here every live stream should be called the No Life Crew. That is not true.
Yeah, I mean we really don't know why you watch this show. We really don't. Um,
DraftKings, real quick, since you talked about Penn, what do you think about DraftKings breaking through $57 resistance?
yeah. So DraftKings, it's crazy. This one didn't have nearly the kind of pullback that Penn did on that football news, but you guys know, I think we've made it pretty clear that Penn's our favorite. But as far as DraftKings go, I think that, it may end up going higher here. I would try to wait to see if this pulls back to 56, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, at least today. Looks like maybe 58's on the horizon. If it breaks over 58, 25 should see a really nice move, and maybe a continuation could run up into the end of the day. So keep an eye on that, but I would really like to see it come back to 56.
Still talking about the phone and the features of the phone. If you guys let us know feedback, if you guys want us to just shut up and you want to listen to it, let us know. But I figured this might make sense. Bratz with the donation off the top rope.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. He's always a huge supporter of us. So thanks. I appreciate it a lot, man.
Steve, we haven't talked about SHLL yet, but we are getting there. But first, I think we need to talk about a couple IPOs everybody's been bugging us about.
Oh, yeah. We got Palantir IPO that went live, about an hour ago, I would say. It's up 50% from its initial price. And this was a direct listing. So it's a little bit different than a traditional IPO. Basically, there's no shares that get issued. It's just direct sale. So lots of times companies do this because they don't have the money for an underwriter or all that good stuff. But I think in Palantir's case, they've been in business since 2003, and they've basically had the government funding everything that they've been doing up until, probably a few years ago, about 50%. It's about 50-50 now as far as government revenue versus, a civilian revenue. And, this thing, obviously going crazy. I think they actually do end up doing well longer term. I like the stock a lot. I like the company a lot. I don't like the stock right now. I think it needs to cool off. But, Christian actually ended up taking a gamble on it, just a few bucks just to see where it would go. But
it didn't fill.
It didn't fill. Oh, yeah,
no,
that's right.
I put in an order for $10 to see if it will go to $10. It did not.
Yeah, so, I mean, in traditional IPO fashion, you can see that this was the boner candles of all boner candles on the 5-minute chart here was pretty wild stuff. And then the Viagra wore off pretty damn quick. And that's usually what happens with IPOs. You see this amazing pop. Some poor sap buys it all the way at the high. In this case, it was at 1141, and then it sells off and continues to kind of consolidate. And so that's where you come in. You be patient. You wait for this thing to chill the hell out, and then buy it when it actually makes sense. And we talked about that with Snow week before. And, Snow actually ended up doing that. Look, prime example of Snow and its IPO. You go and look at this thing. Some poor soul bought this at $319 a share. It's sitting at $251 right now. So
yeah, I like Palantir. I think that so people think of them for their government exposure, which a little under 50% of their business comes from the government. And they do some crazy shit.
They really do.
They do some crazy shit. But with that said, it's got all the buzzwords that you want: cloud software, security. And so having exposure to government bodes really well. I think that gives it sort of a floor. 53% is for private companies. I expect those to grow. I'm going to pull a quote from what the head of business development told investors last call. We did 743 million in revenue last year, but I'd like to go back to 2017. We did just over 500 million in revenue. The growth rate was 11%. Nothing exceptional about that.
Yeah.
What is exceptional is that we've accelerated the growth in revenue every year since. In 2020, we've grown 49% through first half of the year, and we've also grown our gross margins to 78%. So we're growing 49% on an extremely large base with 78% margin. And they predict to show strong revenues in the coming months, although the percentage will decline, but they're calling for revenue growth of 46 to 47% in the third quarter, 41 to 43 for the full year of 2020, and then 30% growth of 2021, which I feel may potentially be conservative.
Yeah, probably. I think that it would be, like I said, I think this is going to be something that actually ends up continuing to grow in value, but I would, just give it a minute, let it cool off, a little bit, but I think that there's a lot of good potential for this company for sure.
I think Google now has moved over to the Chromecast, all this stuff we expected, we planned. And then, okay, so then Asana.
Yeah, just checking in. Google has been selling off here. Ah, man, I hope this doesn't do what all the other ones did. But Google has been selling off here, sitting at 1478 now. But guys, make sure to fill us in. And if you are watching and you're watching for the first time, welcome. If you want to be part of the Chaos Crew, make sure you're hitting that join button. Would love to have you guys hang out. And yeah, let's get into that Asana IPO.
Asana IPO. So this morning it IPO'd, same thing, direct listing. And then let me actually quickly pull up my notes for Asana. Is it currently sitting still below $28?
$27.99.
Okay, great.
So just barely.
Next to Zoom, the product I'm most loyal to is Asana.
Yeah.
And I did get into Asana, and I just love the platform. That's more of a personal thing. They are losing money, but I think there's huge growth. Give you a couple numbers. 82,000 paying customers. I think there's more growth, a huge growth opportunity there. 3.5 million free activated accounts, which to me means that we can upsell, create more revenue. 40% of revenue is from outside of the US. Expansion of offices in Australia, Japan, Germany, England. So international exposure. 65% year-over-year growth of businesses spending 5,000 or more on an annual basis. The number of customers spending 50,000 or more on an annual basis increased 160%. Their paying customers include AT&T, Google, NASA, Autodesk, among others. About 2/3 of Fortune 500 companies are using Asana, either the free or paid, which bodes really well. You know who else is a client of Asana? Slack.
Really?
Yes. So why don't you take your money in Slack? Why don't you move it on out and shimmy it on over to Asana?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about Asana. I really don't. And I mean, yeah, they might be struggling to make some money for the time being, but I don't see that where a situation in where, they don't come out on this on top. They got all the right things, put it that way.
Still, it's not an exception to the rule on this IPO. We expect it to run already up over 35%, but I'd be careful through earnings when it does have earnings, but there's going to be opportunity. Management, obviously the big thing people go to is the co-founder is Dustin Moskovitz, who is the who is one of the co-founders of Facebook. I don't know what that means materially, but I think that sounds good to people. But I mean, if you look at Facebook and if he was one of the 4 original people in it, that does bode well for the company. So I'm excited about Asana. It's going to be tough sledding like anything else. There's going to be ups and downs, but I'm getting in a small position, see where this thing goes, because I believe in this company a little bit more longer term. It is longer term for me.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So there you have it. There's Asana, there's Palantir, there's the 2 IPOs today. And the conclusion is we like both of them. I think it just makes sense to, we'll give it a little bit of time, let them cool off a little bit, and then maybe work your way into a position if you guys see value in these as well. Just an update on the Google event. Looks like it's over. At least I was trying to look like I ended up getting shifted over to the next video and I tried to research it, and it looks like it was only a 30-minute thing. So looking at the stock right now, still kind of tailing off here, sitting at 1477. We will go ahead and do a recap of that probably tomorrow, just to highlight anything that maybe we might have missed. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they had some good stuff in there. We'll go ahead and make sure that we address all of that later on for tomorrow's show as well.
I like the I like the events during market hours. I
I do
like that.
too. I do too. It
We can
also
move some
helps
stuff
us not
around.
have to do a 5.5 hour stream and wait till I don't know, get bored to tears.
Ema asked if we do options. We do not do options. Don Fran show is a channel. We'll call it our brother channel.
Yeah.
But Don Franz, he's in here a lot. He does options. He trades options. So check out Don Franz show. What else do we have?
Chill.
Brad, you should do a video on the Bull platform. Somebody asked when you, R. Evans asked, when do you receive the free stocks for Webull?
Yeah, it takes I think like 2 weeks to settle out. Like even when I get them, because full disclosure, we're an affiliate, so like I get free stocks and you guys get free stocks, so everybody wins. But it takes me like anywhere between like 10 to 15 days, I think, to have them show up in your account. But you get stocks depending on how much you put in. You start off with, it can be as high as a $1,600 stock. So that's pretty cool stuff too. I have yet to have gotten a $1,600 one, but I've gotten a lot of $100 ones, so that's nice.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. Shill. So everybody and their mother wants to get in on Shill, and so they had to vote. I don't know if we got actual confirmation or any kind of results as far as the voting is concerned on the SPAC merger. So if you guys aren't familiar with what a SPAC is, a special acquisition company, and that's what Tortoise Acquisition Corp is. There's a Helion potential merger going on with Shill, and it has sold off pretty considerably since 1 o'clock when the vote was supposed to go through. I haven't heard anything as far as that's concerned, and feel free to, give me a shout out or let me know what's going on if you've heard anything. But I haven't seen anything, and it looks like it's continuing to sell off here. If the merger goes through and the votes are all yeses, this thing's probably going to pop off. Here's my thing. It's another SPAC EV stock. And there's a lot of risk involved with that as well. And I'm not saying that Helion isn't a legitimate company, because at least they have products. I mean, they got that going for them. The thing of it is, they don't have a whole lot of money. So they're going to have to raise money somehow. They're going to have to do that in the form of an offering. I don't see any other way around that. So they're going to probably have some pretty hefty offerings coming up for the Shill Corporation, or for the Helion Corporation, and I think that it probably will come swiftly. So expect a pop out of this, potentially, if the merger goes through. If it doesn't go through, that'll spell disaster for the company. But if it does go through, we should see a pop, but I wouldn't be holding on to that forever. Definitely consider taking profit, especially if this thing goes to anywhere near $60, $70 a share. Right now, sitting at $50.08. So not having a good day for any of those Shill holders.
And as you were talking, I went to Twitter and just saw some feedback on the Google event. So what we thought, they didn't give us anything new, underwhelming. They announced that the Pixel phone will launch October 15th. So that's cool. That's good to know. Which I would imagine now hopefully we'll hear soon about the Apple launch of their iPhone, which is supposed to be in October. And I'm sure this is going to play into it.
Yep.
But yeah, there's really not much. Actually, a lot of people just busting balls on Chromecast, saying how they're so late to the game on the streaming, and like,
oh my God, yeah, that is one thing
they're doing in innovation. So
yeah,
yeah, that's it. So it wasn't great, but again, what I would say is, if you this is still fine long term. I think that I don't expect it to be a huge move down, but I don't expect that big move that we thought now. I don't think it did anything for that.
Yeah, a little bit underwhelming. So it's still just following in line with all the other events that we've done. So it's a bit of a letdown. I mean, I hope that one of these comes out. Maybe Facebook will come out triumphant in the FANG space when they have an event. So that'll probably be one of the next ones we actually end up seeing. let's see here. Take to the comments here. The mortgage numbers come in. Yeah, so the mortgage numbers came in. There's an 8% increase in real estate sales in the month of August. Great stuff. Rocket did not move. Still a hold for me, and I even ended up adding to it today. So just a friendly reminder. Thoughts on Big C at this price? So Big C is actually one of the ones that we had for the top 10 stocks to watch for October. And I think, what did I say yesterday? I don't recall what I said yesterday as far as potential entry price, but I feel like we're getting close to where I was saying that I would end up getting in on this thing.
I was looking at 82. If it could get down to 82, which it looks like it's coming.
Yeah, I like 82.
Yeah. But I talked about it in the Top Stocks video for October. I do like it. You had talked about Shopify, which we've been big fans of.
Yep.
I think there's a good move for big commerce. Big C, we know that it's volatile. But excuse me, man. I like its exposure to B2B. And like I said yesterday, these both can live together.
Yeah.
And Shopify mostly focuses on business to consumer, whereas Big C is more business to business. And they help people build their e-commerce platforms, which I think there's a huge need for that. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's just
almost in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just needed to pull back. I mean, I had a monster day yesterday, and so it's only going to continue to go up from here. Definitely would consider grabbing in on the dips as well. To get some more questions in here, I got one about Rite Aid. Christian says, "Yo, Cash, what's up with Rite Aid? $12 still a target for that?"
Yeah, Rite Aid and Rocket are, to me, in the same boat. I'm not going to go down with the shipping Rite Aid, but it's not really doing too much. I'm not too concerned. It was green today for a while. It's still slightly, I mean, it's basically break even right now at 963.
Yep.
But I have an entry at 980. Yeah, I think $12 is really an opportunity for that. And as we speak, I know I'm going blank. The reason why I'm holding it is because I'm expecting vaccine news. And as we were talking, I saw a news article come through about the U.S. is sort of bypassing the normal regulations to approve billions of dollars for the COVID vaccines.
Yep.
Vaccine coming. And so I'm just trying to capitalize on Rite Aid for when that pop happens. I have CVS as a longer term play. You like CVS. That was also one of the top stocks, but I just felt like it dropped way too far down, and this seemed like a good entry.
Yeah, CVS is welcome, John, to the Chaos Crew, man. Happy to have you. Thanks for hanging out and joining the community and supporting the channel. You're gonna like it here, I think. But so yeah, as far as CVS is concerned, the other thing that kind of attracted me to it was this trend that is now breaking out of. We talked about this morning in our mentorship group and it's breaking out of a downward channel here. And so I think this is probably the break that it needs on top of everything else that they got going for it. CVS definitely could be a good play as well in this space. Like it a lot.
So Steve King, would you add to a position if the price was above your original price by average? So let's say you bought for 150, stock price is 175, then dips to 160.
I think it depends on what your plan is for it. So if you're looking for a longer term swing, you're looking to scale yourself in, if the price, if it comes down to a price where it's a potential support and you start to see buying return, then yeah, it might make sense to add to that or scale in or maybe average down. But just because it reaches a certain number doesn't necessarily mean that you just buy it there. Wait for some sort of confirmation, some sort of buying to return at that potential support. And that's when it makes the most sense to maybe add into that a little bit, scale in some more.
Yeah. So we just had a question. We did not talk about McCormick prime time. Are we still bullish over $200? So McCormick, after their earnings, announced stock split on the November 30th.
Yes.
And it's a 2-for-1. You still bullish over $200?
Yes, I am. And it actually looks much better today. And I think that we see a run into this. I mean, I think there's a lot of buying that's going on because of the dividend today. What I'm kind of hoping for, and this is just some wishful thinking, but I hope it does happen, that there will be some selling off once the dividend gets issued. And then we start to see buying leading into the split. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So for me personally, I wouldn't buy it just yet. I would wait for a move down after the dividend comes out, and then consider looking for a potential spot to get in.
Thoughts on SE? Asked Claudia.
SE. I don't know much about this one. This thing has gone absolutely insane. I can tell you that. It's on a decent trend. Sitting at 155.19. Just from a technical standpoint, looking at it at 163, if it breaks up over 163, it's got another resistance here at 166, but we could see some pretty decent breaks there. And actually before that, it's got to get over 160. So it's got a ways to go. I would look for a potential pullback, maybe to 153, 152. See if you can get some more shares there. But it looks like it's on a decent trend, but this thing has been monstrous. It's a wild stock right there.
Any news on the Workhorse contract?
Nothing that I've heard.
Nope. Snookeroo, was that a buy on the dip on Big C? Potentially. Remember all those people that you were talking about, buying on the top? We call this the red zone.
Yeah.
And, I feel like that's a misconception, is like people see a stock up and they try to jump in. There are times when you can get in a stock on the way up, but don't be fearful to get in a stock on a red day or a red candle, whatever your time frame is. You can't, if you're in a red candle, you can't buy at the top. That's what I say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. And I mean, to a certain extent, and just also keep in mind that just because it's down to a certain degree doesn't mean it can't go lower. But,
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time with our community in the Chaos Crew and all that, is that, on days like today, this is a day you may want to consider selling some stuff, take some profits. And then when there's a sell-off day or it's a red day or whatever, then it makes a little bit more sense to start buying some more stuff. So it's not necessarily as cut and dry as like, oh, well, the stock market's down, which means I need to go shopping and buy some stuff up. And if it's stock market's green, I have to sell. It's not as cut and dry as that, but there's a general theory that doesn't really hurt to at least have that kind of mindset.
The whole market looks like it's pulling back, and I'm wanting to jump in on MGM.
Oh, really? That old fat man Zoom kicking in. Don was asking about the SHLL results. I thought I saw somebody mention about, still haven't heard anything about the actual merger, but the sell-off was because of something, and now I can't find it.
For sure.
Yeah. Something about the board of directors that they didn't approve, and that's why it sold off. But haven't heard news on the actual merger just yet, I don't believe.
Yeah, I actually have an article right here. Still expected to close by the 1st of October. Now, this article, I don't know how reliable this is, but let me see what it says here.
While you're doing that, Smith & Wesson, primetime DJs. Oh, Brad, should we will we still run into the election or no? I think potentially, but I've already made it clear that I've been out of Smith & Wesson. I do think that we still see some sort of move. I just don't know when that's going to be. I really don't know. But yeah, it's been a struggle here for Smith & Wesson. You said you got a $17 average on it. I don't think that you're down that much to where you really, and everybody's risk tolerance is different. So make sure you keep that in mind. I'm not telling you to hold on if you don't want to, but I think that you'll probably be just fine. 17 seems to be, you're not that far off from there. So I think.
So apparently, the merger is going through. That's not in question. So the shareholders approved all proposals except for one. So one of the proposals hasn't been approved yet, which is a director classification charter proposal. And they're meeting on the 28th. It wasn't approved. So what they're doing is they're adjourning their meeting until today for them to negotiate with the opposing shareholders. This seems like a formality, and it doesn't seem like a big deal of this. So yeah, I mean, if it does open tomorrow, like maybe good opportunity to get SHLL. I haven't even looked at SHLL today, to be honest with you.
It's below 50 now. It's at 49 and some change.
Might be a good spec for the next couple of days. So yeah, that doesn't seem too big of a deal.
Yeah, so just to update you guys, it looks like the market's pulling back because Mitch McConnell said that they're not even close to COVID relief talks. So that sucks. That's why the market's been selling off here.
Way to ruin our lives.
I know. God damn it. Damn it, Mitch. So that's why we're seeing some pretty decent selling off. This is not going to be good for airliners. If they don't get their shit together, the airlines are going to suffer big time. They're going to lose a lot of employees that way. I mean, across the board, let's be fair. Across the board, it's going to be impactful, but the airlines in particular really needed the stimulus to go through. So anything can happen. You know, maybe they figure it out, but that's some tough stuff.
You know what? I'm going to push up my order a little bit on Palantir because it's starting to come down. It's at 1064.
Oh, 10, on Palantir?
10. Yeah. 1010. I'm moving up my order. Come to Papa.
It's sitting at 1063 right now.
Still got a little ways to go, but
yeah,
maybe we'll get it filled.
Yep. Still overall, I mean, still green day today, so I ain't mad at it. I feel like we've talked enough about Rocket, so we're just not going to talk about it anymore.
Who's going in timeout?
Mike B. It's like everybody whole accounted Rocket or something.
Pepsi earnings pre-market tomorrow?
Yes.
Holy hell. Sorry, I don't mean to say it. I just realized that Nikola's up 15% today.
People are crazy. Well, I mean, what are you buying it for? Honestly.
I don't know. And McCormick's up 2.5%. Okay, so sorry, go ahead.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. I'm just figuring out an entry on MGM. I don't do much trading live, but I feel.
Yeah, so MGM. For me, some stuff's pulling back. NVIDIA has been really great. Everything's obviously pulling back. I may consider adding to PIN. I didn't think I was going to get another shot at it. Now I'm thinking I might do that. So yeah, you can see this is pulling back. I actually ended up getting into this at 72.03, sitting at 71.72. Getting close to that low of the day, so we'll see if this bounces. But yeah,
I'll tell you what, Disney didn't get hit as hard as many people thought for the layoffs. They're only down less than 1%. They're 124.
Yeah, I mean, the reason being for that is because, and I talked about this yesterday off air, it was like, it sucks that 28,000 people are about to lose their job or did lose their job. But the other silver lining for investors in Disney is that they're saving some money. They're keeping themselves afloat. So that's kind of the catch-22 there.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And so I don't know how you would take this, but I'll give you this information that I read about Disney today. So Labor Day weekend. So obviously Disney's reduced capacity. The challenge for the theme parks, the only two places you don't want them in the United States are the two places they're located, California and Florida.
Right?
It's like,
if Disney World was in Maryland, it would be great. Infection rate here is below 2%.
Yeah. So that kind of hindered it, but Labor Day was the first weekend they actually hit their capacity, which is a reduced capacity. So
yeah,
it's like 30% of what normal capacity is, but they maxed out the capacity over Labor Day. However, they did admit that the demand was a little bit lower than they expected. Listen, I don't think that surprises anybody. California is going to be interesting and it's going to be kind of tough. Most of the layoffs though are part-time workers.
Yep.
And it looks like it's going to be California. So hopefully something positive happens with California that helps them reopen, but that doesn't look too promising.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough stuff, like I said, but I think Disney will be just fine. I actually consider buying Disney at 120.
Yeah, me too.
And just never pulled the trigger on it, but that would have been a good buy if anybody happened to look at Disney and pick it up at 120. Sitting at 124, so it was a hell of a bounce on that thing.
Melissa H asked if anybody was in Docusign. It's been on a nice uptrend, hoping it'll break 219 soon. We haven't talked about that too much. That's a great stock.
Yeah, I mean, all of the other like Rona plays, I think, are back on the table. Docusign's definitely in that conversation. Made a huge move on this and has fallen quite a bit since its earnings that happened at the beginning of September, and we all know what happened in September now with that. And so it's kind of time for this to really kind of return. Went as low as 189 and now sitting at 215. It's a great shape. I think that this probably continues to move north. There's one thing that I've always told you guys since the beginning of the Rona, and when remote work stocks, people started to actually pay attention to them. The cat's been let out of the bag here. And even if we come up with a vaccine, first of all, who's going to take it? Elon Musk has already come out and said that he's sure as hell not taking it. It was very opinionated about that. The other thing is that remote work isn't going anywhere. The cat's been let out of the bag. When you have a lot of companies that are like, hey, I can save a ton of money by not having to worry about leasing all these buildings to house all my employees, and I can just have them work from home, and my employees are happier, and they don't have to commute. And then I can also, from an environmental standpoint, we're not using as much gas and all that good stuff. Like, there's so many good things by allowing people to work from home if they can do it, that it's just not going anywhere. So Docusign, good one to hold on to for the long term as well. I like it a lot.
Emma says DDOG, nice bump on news of merger with Microsoft.
DDG, yeah. Yeah, we haven't talked about DDG all that much. They had good earnings this past September as well, and then gotten beat down as well.
DDOG,
yeah. Datadog. This is another cloud computing one that I think is actually going to do really well. I didn't hear about the Microsoft deal. Looks like it happened a couple hours ago is when that news got released. But yeah, it's God damn, what a move on that. 107.99. It's up around 13% today. Jesus. It's on a pullback. I tell you what, IMA, if you can think that you can probably grab some at 99 or somewhere around $100 a share flat, I think that's going to be a good grab, but that's a pretty big deal as far as Microsoft deal is concerned.
Yeah, it looks like a strategic partnership. So Datadog will now be available as a service on Azure, the Azure platform.
Which is huge for
Azure.
Microsoft. Yeah, Azure.
Yeah. So that's the news there. I've been using E-Trade's news more lately. I actually like their news feature.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Weebles is pretty cool too. Plus, Weeble has the community side of it too. Everybody can comment on there. It's like a social media aspect of it, which is pretty awesome. I haven't really leveraged that as much as I should, but got some cool stuff in there.
William Fricknick, all the Nikola fanboys and chats are talking crazy shit today, except they don't realize they need 5 more days of plus 15% to just get out of the hole.
Yeah, right. Let's not forget that they also have another 55 million shares coming to rain on their parade.
Yep. Yeah. Can you still not short Nikola?
There's no shares to short. There's nothing available. I think you could do, buy puts on it or whatever, but no.
Did anybody in the crew get Baba this morning on the watch list? Baba or Penn?
Yeah, shout out. Baba went crazy today.
Let me talk a little bit about Baba, in case you missed it or in case you weren't in Brad's mentorship.
Let's plug the watch list real quick before you hop into this.
Sure, go ahead.
So Baba was on the watch list here for the Chaos Crew. So if you guys are watching and you're not able to chat, click the join button, and we become part of the Chaos Crew. And we actually put a watch list out every single day. Kind of gives you a snapshot of the market. Baba was on this list, and Fat Man Zoom nailed this one. This is one I cannot take credit for. It went all the way up from 284, now sitting up 6%. And this thing went absolutely ballistic. And I'll let you take it away as to why it did that today.
Yeah. So the biggest thing for Baba, so there was an announcement recently. So they're having their investor day. It was a 3-day event. I think today was the last day. I should have confirmed that, but it was earlier this week. I believe today was the last day. And so the CFO had mentioned yesterday that this quarter would be their first profitable quarter for their cloud division. And what we know about stocks is when we can report profitability in any sense, that usually is usually a boost to the stock. So that caught my eye first. I've always been a big fan of Baba. I mean, I have my long terms below $200 a share, but Alipay in October, Alipay, which is the merchant processing arm and kind of like the eBay platform as well, but like merchant processing, that's Alipay. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, has this company as well. Alibaba has a 33% stake in this company that will IPO in the foreign exchanges in October, and it's supposed to be the biggest IPO ever. So whatever happens with that, Baba benefits off of, and then not to mention they have 80% market share of e-commerce in China, and they're only growing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
This thing is a monster.
That's incredible. Just that market share alone is just insane.
Ooh, nice job, Eric. Got Baba a few days ago. Good work.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to bring it to the end of our show. We'll go ahead and answer some other questions. If you guys want to put them in the comments, we'll be sure to try to get to those too. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to Own the Chaos. Hopefully you get a subscription from you. Make sure you're hitting that join button if you want to be part of the Chaos Crew as well. And that's going to do it for Fat Man Zoom and I, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow to hang out with you guys too. And that's it. Have a great day. We'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.